People are saying that Cyrus from Marco is better than Rolex and Adira. Okay, guys, it's so tricky to be honest, and let me get straight to the point. All right, straight to the point, no build up. Guys, Marco is a film which is marketed with the idea of it being the most violent film in Indian cinema history and Kerala cinema history. So they had to show the graphic scenes, they had to show the violent scenes so violently, so openly for the audience to get what they were expecting before the film came out. Okay, so that's the basic stuff. And Adira and Rolex from their respective films like Vikram and KGF 2, those films are marketed as mass films. They are not gore films. They are not violent films. They are not slasher films. They are just films with some violence, some mass, some masala, stuff like that. Okay, so those filmmakers never had the plans for showing the film as so graphic, so violent, so so gory. But Marco was a gore film. It was actually a gore porn film, a gore porn film or a violence porn film. You know. Okay, so but other films like Vikram and KGF 2 were some normal films in the industry with mass, with fights, with violence. I'm saying like so, action and stuff like that. So Cyrus is portrayed as a big villain or a big violent animalistic villain or a very very brutal villain because the filmmakers had to make the film like that. That's what their goal. Okay, but Rolex and Adira were also brutal, but their films weren't interested or their filmmakers weren't interested in making the film so graphic or so gory with lots of violence. That is the only difference there. And let me tell one more thing is that Rolex is a villain in that film, right? And when he comes to the warehouse or the godown, there are his security forces there with some guns, but still there are I think there are like more than 200 or 300 or 500 gundas or goons there to talk with him. The Adekalam or the all the gangs there. And when Rolex brutally kills one of the gang members, all the other 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 gang members have has the chance to kill Rolex, but they don't do it because they know that that guy sitting there is a big wrong animal person or a big brutal person. But that film was not a gore film or a slasher film or a violent film, so they never showed it because that was not their plan. Also, in KGF 2, Adira is shown as so violent or so brutal, but again, that film was not an A certificate film with. I don't know if it's A certificate or not, but from what I know, it was not an A certificate film with lots of gore. It was never marketed as the new slasher film of Indian film industry, but it was a violent film. So they also never had the idea of showing a violent film with gore porn stuff like that, slasher stuff like that. But Adira was shown as a very very brutal person. If KGF was an A-rated film with all the violent gory stuff, bro, Adira is gonna be like out of the world, and Interpol, the world police or military is gonna come and arrest the filmmakers for showing so much gore on cinema industry. Even if Rolex get his own standalone film and that is an A-rated film, the same way they made Marco, that film is gonna be very, 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 very brutal, bro. Cyrus is a good villain. Okay, understand that. Like I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of Marco, but I like some stuff in Marco. I watched the film, completely watched the film. I like some stuff in the film and some stuff I hated, but still I watched the film and from what I see there, what I saw there, I will say that it was a great film and Cyrus was a great villain, but that doesn't mean he's the OG Superman villain of the Indian film industry, bro. There is Rolex, there is Adira, there is many people out there. There are many wrong people in cinema industry. I'm saying like the characters are there. So Cyrus is a good villain. That's great, but he's not that OG great. He is OG great because the filmmakers of Marco did so much violent and gory scenes. But the filmmakers of KGF and Vikram never did that. That's the only reason there. There's no other reasons to glaze all this Cyrus stuff, bro. Stop glazing. Malayali film industry kids out there. Let me wait a second. ഇഫ് ഐ ടേക്ക് ഔട്ട് ദീസ് ഗ്ലാസസ് ഐ ബിക്കം എ മലയാളി. പ്രിയ സുഹൃത്തുക്കളെ, ഈ സൈറസ് ഗ്ലേസ് അടിക്കാനും ഈ മാർക്കോ ഗ്ലേസ് അടിക്കാനും നമുക്ക് സമയമില്ല. നമ്മൾ ഈ ഗ്ലേസ് അടിയൊക്കെ നിർത്തിയിട്ട് 10 കാശുണ്ടാക്കിയിട്ട് ഞാൻ മടിച്ച് സിനിമയെ കണ്ട് ചില്ലായിട്ടങ്ങ് പോവാം. ജസ്റ്റ് ചിൽ.